All right, y'all. So I want to start this video off, first and foremost by saying my deepest apologies. Y'all did not get that rebuild video that I wanted to get y'all on Friday. Y'all didn't get it on Friday. Y'all didn't get the whole Pierre. I don't know what he wants, dude. Y'all didn't get it on Friday. Y'all didn't end up getting it the whole weekend. Thursday night I randomly started feeling sick, bro, and then I was throwing up and everything like that, and I thought I was gonna be fine. Like Friday afternoon, I stopped throwing up. I thought everything was gonna be cool, and then I woke up Saturday morning and my throat was hurting so bad. I was pretty confident I had strep throat at that point. Went to the doctor. That got me some amoxicillin. I'm cool now, right? So I'm recovering. My voice is still a little messed up. You're probably gonna hear me coughing, maybe being a little more out of breath than normal in this video, but that's just because of that. But that's my bad. I should have been that video. What I'm trying to get better at, bro, is like kind of trying to record those things ahead of time. Now the problem with that is I'm moving around so much. Like one night I might be here, one night I might be in my own place. One night I might be here, one night I might be at my own place. But most nights I'm here, right? And a lot of time when I'm here, I'm with my girl the whole time, so I don't really have too much time to record. I don't really have too much space or quiet to record. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start low-key waking up earlier in the mornings, even when I'm here, so that way, like, if she has work in the morning or if she's asleep in the morning, I can just record it then and do stuff like that. And then those nights where I'm home, I'm gonna really make it a priority to get a rebuild recorded every single night that I'm home, so that way, even if it's an old video that I recorded, I can post it, so I can get better at y'all, get y'all that more consistent content. So that's on me for sure, 100,000%. I'm also getting a haircut today. I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way down, like super short, or if I'm just gonna go short curls. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I know I need a haircut. My girlfriend even offered to pay for it. She said it looked that bad. I was like, oh, for sure, love you too. Anyways, what I'm here to talk about in this video is how Adam Silver and the NBA Cup / the in-season tournament might be saving the NBA regular season. As we all know, something that's kind of been growing chatter around the NBA is like, maybe, hey, how do we think about shortening the season, because the casual NBA fan isn't watching the 82 game regular season. The casual NBA fan doesn't really give a damn about the first 60 games of the NBA season, of the NBA regular season. So do we just shorten the season to 72 games? We got players getting injured, we got players missing time. Should we just shorten the game to 72 games? Shorten the season to 72 games. Let me tell you right now, I'm not someone that's behind that idea, because that's how we get to the point where we've got our kids in the future saying, oh, these guys are so much better than those guys. This man's averaging 35. The highest score you ever saw was like James Harden averaging like 33 or whatever. Or that guy's averaging 40 and the highest we ever saw was James Harden averaging 35. But then we're like, bro, our guys played 82 games. Your guys only have to play 72 games. So yeah, they have more energy for those 72 games. That's how those arguments get started. How do you really decipher stats? Like, do you have to put all of the NBA player stats as if it was only in 72 games? Well, then how do you decide what games to cut out? Just the last 10? Well, that's weird, because their stats could look better in those other games, because they would have had more rest in between them. They wouldn't have had as many back-to-backs or as many 3 and 5s, right? That's how you get to those stupid arguments. Can you two relax and not have the zoomies right now, bro? I don't ask for a lot. I really don't. Pierre. Stormy. Stop. Dude, all I want to do is record the video. Anyways, I'm just going to try to talk over them. Basically, Pierre. I'm separating them. I can't do it. Go, Stormy. Come on. Come on, Stormy. Come on, good girl. Good girl. Okay. Much better. Much better. Just have to put her in the other room. Okay. So, my deepest apologies. I would say I'm editing that out, but I'm probably not going to edit that out. So, anyways, but this NBA Cup, that's what it's called now. Last year it was called the in-season tournament, if you are someone that's confused and not keeping up with the NBA like that. It's something that I think, for the casual fan, is helping a lot. Because now me, I'm the type of person where the NBA Cup's not really meant for me. I'm the type of person where I'm going to be watching basketball no matter what. I'm going to be watching Pierre. I'm going to be watching basketball at least 4 or 5 nights a week, probably 7, as often as possible, 7. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm trying to watch as many hoops as possible, as much hoops as possible. But there's the casual fan, they don't care about these 82 games for even their favorite team. Like, they don't care about all 82 of them. They simply don't. If they're playing against one of the worst teams in the league, they don't care. If they're playing against a mid-team, they don't care. They only care if you're playing against, like, a marquee matchup. These NBA Cup games with these group stages and everything like that, they're giving us marquee matchups so often. You've got where on, I'm going to show you the screen, bro. You've got where on day 1 of the NBA Cup, which was Tuesday, you've got the Hawks, who were without Trae Young, beating the Boston Celtics. Dyson Daniels is looking like a top 3 defensive player of the year candidate right now. You've got The Pistons going into an OT game with the Heat, where the Heat have a top probably 10 coach of all time. The Heat have a top 10 coach of all time, and that man pulls dang it, who was it? It wasn't Jalen Rose. Pulls a Chris Webber and calls a timeout when he doesn't have any, gets a tech, and the Detroit Pistons win off of that. Also, not to mention, I think the courts this year, for the most part, look better than they do last year. I know for a fact some of them are different. I just like some of them. I can't tell if they're different. And I don't know how different they all are. But I do like the courts more this year than I did last year for the most part in the games that I've watched at least. For the in-season tournament and everything like that. Now, not all the jerseys I like, but you know how that is. We've got the Magic, who were at some point, I believe the Hornets I didn't watch this full game, but at some point I believe the Hornets actually made this a close game and the Magic just kind of pulled away. We've got the Sixers, who sucks. We don't really care about that. But, like, that's still a marquee matchup. The Knicks versus the Sixers, if the Sixers were fully healthy, that's a marquee matchup. So, like, when the schedule makers made that matchup and made that group, they were thinking to put superstars against superstars. You've got the Milwaukee Bucks going out there and beating down my Toronto Raptors, which was absolutely depressing to watch. You've got Phoenix and Devin Booker going out there and putting up points on points. And then you get what to me has been the game of the year so far, and I don't even think it's close. The Dallas Mavericks at Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson's return to Golden State. You got Steph Curry for the first time this year turning into that supernova version of himself, and I think it was right after Klay hit. I couldn't remember if it was his second three in a row or his third three in a row, but he did it out on the left corner on like a fast break, and he did a little shimmy after, and that was when you saw Steph was about to check in. He said, "Okay, bet," and Steph went crazy, did the supernova version of himself, screaming, "You better stay here, you better stay." Now I don't know if that's actually what he was saying. I haven't heard audio, but the lip readers believe he was saying, "You better stay here," and kind of it did look like that. But I was also looking because like the words I was reading said that, and then I looked at his mouth and I was like, "Oh yeah, it could." So it could have been my brain making it fit that. So I'm not sure if that's what he said, but you got the supernova version of Steph. You got him screaming with more emotion than you've arguably ever seen, other than when he was crying in Game 6 of the finals against the Celtics, bro. Like, you got him being super emotional on that. And then you end the game off with the game where the Portland Trailblazers somehow beat the Minnesota Timberwolves by 20. A game that should have been a super boring blowout in one direction ended up being a blowout in the other direction, and the Portland Trailblazers, without which one's hurt right now? Is it Shaden Sharp or is it Anthony Simons? I think it's without Anthony Simons right now. Without Anthony Simons and without Robert Williams III, have been looking like a super, or not Robert Williams, without DeAndre Ayton, they've been looking like a super fun team, and it's kind of got people thinking, should we end up trading those guys just to get this lineup that we have in now with Toumani Camara and all these guys? Should we do that? But then we go to the next day of the NBA Cup, which was Friday. This game, I watched a good chunk of. It really wasn't nothing important. The Pacers aren't good. This game, it really wasn't nothing important. The 76ers aren't good. And this game was good. The Toronto Raptors are doing the best job I've ever seen at, like, the competitive tank. Where every single game, even going to OT last night against the Boston Celtics, Pierre, shut up, is a super close, super competitive game. But then at the end of the game, no matter what, they're going to choke it. They're going to lose it because we're trying to get Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey. Jakob Poeltl. In this game, I watched, I think, every single minute of this game. In this game, Jakob Poeltl had 25 points and 20 rebounds, bro. Pierre, I'm so for real, shut up. This man had 25 points and 20 rebounds in that group play game Friday. 25. They took 2 rebounds away from him? I swear he had a 20-20 game. I promise you he did. Bro, we gotta stop with this taking stuff away, bro. You took away a 20-20 game from Jakob Poeltl, bro. We gotta stop with that. But you get Jakob Poeltl putting up a 20-20 game on the Pistons where Cade Cunningham's choking. You got Grady Dick missing a wide open corner 3 to put us ahead. We end up losing the game on free throws and everything like that. You got Dyson Daniels continuing to be a defensive player of the year and most improved candidate player. This was a game that was super close until the last 2.5, 3 minutes. I watched the last 5 minutes of this game. And this game was super close. It was going back and forth. And then Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs said, "Oh, yeah, we're simply the better team." And for the last 2 minutes, absolutely just went on a run against Chicago. You got this game that ended up being a super close game. It ended with a Jalen Brunson game winner. And look at the duel. 37 from Jalen Brunson, who hit the game winner, and Cam Thomas with 43 and a loss. And then you got this game, which was super close. You get LeBron getting a triple-double, but other than that, he didn't really do much. You get Anthony Davis putting up an MVP-like 40 points. You get Victor Wembanyama putting up 28 and being arguably the best defender in basketball right now in a 5-point game where the Lakers pull out the win on the road. This game wasn't nothing. You got this game where the Pelicans end up losing. The Pelicans end up winning. And that's because Jokic is out, so I don't really give a damn. You got this game where OKC absolutely shuts down Phoenix's offense, bro. Josh Okogie ends up being their leading scorer because Kevin Durant is out and The dog is just scratching himself so aggressively. Pause. Where Kevin Durant's out and Devin Booker gets held scoreless in the first half. Like, Lou Dort is playing some of the most energetic, fun to watch defense I've ever seen, and Devin Booker's getting held scoreless in the first half because of it. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. You've got this game where Buddy Hield does his thing. It's a pretty close game. It shouldn't have been as close as it ended up being. You got Brandon Przemski making the pass of the year so far to this point. Jaren Jackson Jr. goes off. Steph Curry played. He didn't have a great game or anything, but he did play. It was just Buddy Hield had a better game than him. And then you get a duel where Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle are going back and forth with De'Aaron Fox. It's basically a 2-on-1 for the end of like the last 3 minutes of the game, but it was kind of a 1-on-1 because most of it was Anthony Edwards, but Julius Randle hit a big shot or two in there. And then De'Aaron Fox finishes the game with 50 points. Relax. And then De'Aaron Fox finishes the game with a franchise record for the Kings, 60 points, and that's his career high. So now, since these NBA Cup games have started on Tuesday, we get great games on Tuesday, and then we get these great games on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, we get the Giannis 59 piece. We get the Zach LaVine 31. We get the Tatum 36. We get the Cat 46. We get the Wemby versus Poole show. Bro, we get the LeBron 35-point triple-double against Jaren Jackson and his 30. We get the Shaedon Sharpe 33 with Anthony Edwards and his 24, and now you see that the Trailblazers beat the Timberwolves back-to-back games in a baseball-type series. That's not great if you're the Timberwolves. Thursday, we only get one game. It ended up being a phenomenal game. A game that most people probably thought would have been a blowout, a double-digit win for the Mavs. Ends up being a 2-point win for the Jazz, where Luka Doncic's defense is probably the most criticized thing in basketball right now because of this game. Luka Doncic picking up 38 points. It wasn't the storyline. John Collins having a sneakily phenomenal season right now isn't the storyline. The storyline is how Luka's defense is the worst in the NBA, and it's not even close. He doesn't even look like he's putting up effort. And then we get these games, another great slate of NBA Cup games. And then last night we get the Charlotte Hornets clamping Giannis's game-winning Pierre. Dude, the dog is so bad. I can't wait till his nuts are gone. He actually acts like a normal dog, bro. Like, I'm going to lose it. Like, he's not even barking at me. I hope the cat beats him up. I hope my girlfriend's roommate's cat beats him up. Anyways, we get this game where you get the Hornets clamping Giannis's game-winning mid-range attempt. We get this game where Toronto goes into OT with the Boston Celtics and almost pulls out the win. Competitive tanking, like I said. We get this game where Anthony Davis goes out there and hoops. Brandon Ingram also goes out there and hoops, but the Lakers come out with the win. This game wasn't nothing. And then we get this game where the Kings are in a close game with the Utah Jazz, and De'Aaron Fox has now scored 109 points in 2 games. This NBA season just went from like a 2 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10 with just 1 week of basketball. Not even, with 4 days of basketball that started with the NBA Cup games. 2 of those 4 days were NBA Cup days. Adam Silver, there's 2 things that I think you absolutely cooked with since you become the commissioner of this NBA. Now, there's a lot I could criticize you for, but there's 2 things that I will give you your flowers for. The in-season tournament / NBA Cup and the play-in tournament. I think you cooked with that. Now, I don't know how I feel about the play-in tournament stats being literally like unable to find because it's like its own thing and it's super, super stupid. I don't know how I feel about that, but dude, those 2 things, I'm not going to lie, I think you cooked. But all right, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are going to get a rebuild from me this week. I'm doing everything I can, but I promise I am. Y'all are going to get some different NBA type content. As y'all can tell, I'm talking about the NBA a lot more than the NFL now. Y'all know I'm an NBA focused guy. I want to give some flowers to the NFL, and maybe one day when I make it big, I'm going to have an NBA channel and an NFL channel, and then also a reactions channel. That's what I would really like. That's my goal. I want to get to that point. But yeah, bro. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching, and keep God first, bro. The only way to truly heal from anything is through God. So y'all people that are out there, you hate women because of something your mom did to you or because of something your ex-girlfriend did to you. To those women out there that are thinking the same thing in reverse about men, just go to God with it all, bro. Because I promise you, once you learn to just love people and to just get that hate out of your heart, and then because as a result of that, not only as a result of that, but partially as a result of that, once you get into that super happy relationship you've been wanting your whole life, that you've seen on TV your whole life, that you've probably idolized, which is not a good thing your whole life, it'll be the best feeling in the world. When you have that relationship and you're working on your relationship with God at the same time, bro, life is good, bro. I hope y'all get there, and I hope for those of y'all that are there, I hope life stays like this, bro. Life is great, all right? And we about to blow up on this YouTube thing too, man. Life is, it's about to be a great next 6 months. It's about to be a phenomenal next 6 months. I love y'all. Have a good day.